Let's find theta in this cube. Now the length of the sides are all equal, but it's not specified. There are no numbers. So let's just call it this x, and we'll call this x. Now what is the hypotenuse? We'll call this c. From the Pythagorean theorem, we know that c squared is equals to x squared plus x squared, a squared plus b squared. So therefore, c squared is equals to 2x squared, adding these together. We solve for c by taking the square root of both sides. We have root 2 x squared. X times x can escape this radical symbol. So we have x root 2. Or root 2x, same thing. Multiplication is commutative. Now the height of this cube is also x. And we have a right triangle here. And I'm going to draw this inner triangle on the side over here. We can see that this is a SOH CAH TOA problem. We're interested in the opposite and the adjacent. So we'll say that tan theta, SOH CAH TOA, is equals to the opposite over the adjacent. The x's cancel, so therefore tan theta is equals to 1 over root 2. So theta is equals to the tan inverse of 1 over root 2. Using our calculator, we get 35.3 degrees. Let's try one more SOH CAH TOA problem. And what we have here is an enrichment challenge. We're trying to solve h, the height, from here to here. You look up, and after tilting your head an angle of elevation of 30 degrees, you see a bird's nest here. Your friend looks down from a window at an angle of depression of 12 degrees. That's down this way. So we see two right triangles here. Now how in the world do we solve h? Let's focus on SOH CAH TOA, on this triangle on the left. What can we say about 30h and x? Opposite, adjacent. Let's use tan. Tan 30 degrees is equals to opposite over adjacent. So remember that tan 30 is just a number. We have a relationship between h and x, which is great. We have one equation and two unknown variables, and now we just need one more equations. So let's focus now on this second triangle, this upside down triangle over here. The entire height is 4. We know that because we can slide this number 4 on the right to the left. And this little mini height is going to be the whole thing minus the leftover, 4 minus h. So this is 4 minus h. And let's use SOH CAH TOA again. Tan the angle is equals to the opposite, which is 4 minus h, over the adjacent, which happens to be the whole thing minus x, 8 minus x. This here is 8 minus x. Now that we have two equations, two unknowns, this is mathematically possible, especially with a graphing calculator. We want to solve for h, so why don't we isolate for the opposite variable, which is x. You can either cross multiply here or say that the denominator x is equal to the numerator divided by the other side. And now we have x, and we're going to substitute it into here. Well, let's focus on this equation number 2 and multiply both sides by the denominator, 8 minus x. So we're going to multiply both sides. What do we get? We get tan of 12 degrees multiplied by 8 minus x is equals to 4 minus h. Let's throw this h over here, and let's throw this entire giant term to the right. We get h is equals to 4 minus tan 12 degrees multiplied by 8 minus x. Now we know what x is from the past. X is right here. So x, we'll just circle this in purple, goes here. H over tan 30. So as you can see, we have h is only, the only single variable. We should be able to solve this. So at this point, if you want to use technology to help you, one way of solving this is to use symbollab.com, and you can type into the box solve h equals 4 minus tan 12 degrees, and just copy exactly what's over here. And it tells you the decimal answer is approximately 3.64, which should be the correct height, which is what we're trying to solve. And by the way, if you really want to work this out, you can use simple algebra. Just keep in mind that the numbers are not so nice. This is just a decimal number, and this is a negative number that gets distributed here and here. And if you really want to get rid of tan 30, which is just another decimal number, you're allowed to multiply both sides of the equation by tan 30. So step by step by step, you can eventually solve for h.